How we doing today, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to do transitions for a NASCAR track in GTA 5 Content Creator. I already have this track built, so the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to deconstruct this transition and show you how I would do it. So it's important to note that this track is a 12-degree bank turn going into a 6-degree straightaway. Now, typically with transitions, the rule of thumb is you want to go every 3 degrees. So if you have a 12-degree bank turn and a 6-degree straightaway, you find the perfect medium, which is going to be a 9-degree transition, and etc. If it was a bigger transition, if you're going from, say, a 24-degree bank turn to a 6-degree straightaway, you would need 6 transitions in each corner to go every 3 degrees. What's up, Vapid? Yeah, this is Thrilla Edzilla. Just showing Cartman here how to do a transition. So again, it's every 3 degrees, so depending on the track and the banking and what you're trying to do, 3 degrees is really the most you want to go. On some tracks, if I have a lot of props that I know I have to work with, I'll even go every 2 degrees. So here we go. So the way to do transitions, let me go ahead and get rid of this one so you can see. So there's only one transition in this turn right here for this track. So I'll go ahead and pick it up so you guys can see it. So there it is. There's the transition, the piece that I used. So we'll go ahead and we will delete this piece. Alright. So now what you have is a 12-degree bank turn going into a 6-degree straight. And this transition, if you run it over, super rough. So that's the whole point of transitions, is to make it smooth. When it's not smooth, the slipstream doesn't work. How do you pick up props? You just hover over it, Vapid. Here, I'll show you. I'll go to a different turn and show you. Alright, so let's go over here. Or actually, here, we'll make it real easy. We'll go right in the pits. Let's go to props. Make sure your prop stacking is off. Hover over it. And see where it says selected prop, slow down track. You just press X, pick it up, and do whatever you want. You could place it somewhere, you could delete it, you could do whatever. You could just pick it up and then press circle to let it go. But that's one way to do it. So this transition over here, I'll show you. So you just hover over, see how this line's a little bit different. There's a little line going right here. That's the transition. You hover over it, boom, pick it up. You could. So that's one way to quickly get to a prop if you're using the same prop multiple times in a row. Just quickly pick it up. Alright, so to set this prop, you're going to go right along this line here. So as you can see over here, we use the track straight large piece. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you one more time. Hover over it, pick it up, press circle. It puts that transition back, and now you got the same piece. So we'll go ahead and we'll move it over here. Okay. Turn prop stacking on. What you're going to do is, you see the little line on the track that's heading diagonally coming out of turn 4. You're going to kind of match up the outside of the track piece to that. Once it kind of matches up the same angle, you just kind of put the cursor directly over the center of it. And what you do at this point, go into advanced options, position, lock it into place so you could work with it. And then I actually use local on mine. You don't have to do that though. You could use world or local. I like local better. So once you have it locked in place and position, press circle, go into rotation, lock it in. And now here's where you're going to give it that 9-degree angle. So you're gonna tilt it to kind of match the angle of the track, like so. And then the second value is the one that matters. And you're going to put this at 9 degrees. Because remember, we're trying to shoot between 6 and 12, so that's going to be 9. Once it's at 9, you go ahead and you start lowering it down a little bit. Alright, it's looking pretty good so far. And you see the lower you go, the harder it gets to see. And what you want to do with transitions is you don't want them to be too small, but you don't want them to be too big. And on this inside like apex right here where the green touches the pavement, you want it to be one continuous turn. You don't want it to be blocky of any sort. So you go ahead and you kind of just play around with it. I'm holding square. See on the bottom it says fine adjust. So I'm holding square while I'm pressing left and right, and it's giving me different, what this transition could look like. So I could tell you that right about here is where I want it, but let's go ahead and we'll check the rest of the transitions to make sure it matches. So as you can see over here, this transition, it's kind of hard to see, but it's just fits inside the inside cursor, a little bit of space on the edges, but basically it fits just inside of there. You could probably fit maybe 1.5, 1 3/4 transitions width in that cursor. So you come back over here, let's hover over it the same way. Okay, so as you can see, this one's a little bit smaller. So I was wrong. So what we'll do is we'll pick it up right about there. That's about the same size as the other one. You could fit about 1 3/4 in there, maybe even pick it up a little bit more, like so. And then once it's set, you could play around with the other angle a little bit, this X value, and that's going to tilt it like up and down from where we're looking to the back of it. It's going to tilt it up and down. So you could play around with that as well. So you see if I go that way, it makes it bigger on the back end and smaller on this end, like so. And if I come the other way, it does the opposite, right? So I think we're right where we had it, 2.5. It's kind of the money spot. Right about there. Because you want it to be even all the way down. You don't want it to be fat on one end, skinny on the other. You want it to be the same size all the way down. So once it looks good and it's like that, you just go ahead and press X, set it, and then you test it. This is the important part. You never skip this part. When you test it, always use the hot ring, and you're just slowly going to drive over it and see how much wheel bounce you get when you go over it. And there was literally nothing there. So that's good. So what we'll do, we'll go full speed. And you kind of just feel it out this way and see if it feels nice this way. It felt like butter. So, I mean, that's basically, that's about all I could say about how you do transitions. On some tracks, it's not always that easy. Some tracks, I, for instance, have tracks where there's 6 transitions on each turn, and you got to start at, say it was 0 and it goes to, let's say 21 degrees. You got to start at 3, then 6, then 9, 12, 15, 18. So sometimes it is tough depending on the track that you're building. This one, was just one transition in each corner, so it was nice and easy, and that was by design. So when you're planning out a track, think about ahead of time what you got to do for transitions. A track like Daytona, for instance, if you do it at the proper banking, takes close to 30 transitions, if not even more. I think it was actually 34 transitions for Daytona. So you got to plan all that stuff ahead of time. Cartman, Vapid, I hope this helps. If it doesn't, you can say so in the comments and I'll elaborate further and maybe show you a different track. But that's basically the gist of it, man. The prop that I would use is always going to be that same prop, the track straight large, and it's always going to be long enough to do the transitions that you got to do. Um, Sometimes you could get away with a medium, uh, or a medium large rather. A medium is usually too short. In this case, it might make it, but but yeah, that's about that, man. So I hope it helped, and happy creating, guys.